Hey fellow spacefarers, Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of a series covering Space Haven. If you would like to skip the overview and scenario setup, please use YouTube chapters. Space Haven is a game where you embark on a space voyage with your ragtag crew of civilians in search of a new home, Eden. You build a spaceship tile by tile, create optimal gas conditions, temperature, etc., manage the needs and moods of the crew, encounter other spacefaring groups, explore the universe, and upgrade your spaceship in this colony simulation. And in this specific stream, I'm going to be starting with a Small Hope scenario on medium difficulty. The primary goal of the crew will be usually determined by live viewers through polling, and then new crew will be raffled off to subscribers. If you have any questions, use the channel point redemption, and I'll answer it if I can. And I'm not new to the game necessarily, but I'm definitely new to the last 7 updates, so hilarity will ensue. So normally you would just pick these scenarios here, a basic platform where you get to build a ship from scratch, a mining station, or a small hope. A small hope starts you with a basic ship, which I feel like is what it's what I'm going to pick, but it's mostly because it will like sort of jumpstart the start. And then there are difficulties here, and I'm just showing you what a new game would look like. There's seeds up here, and then the difficulties depend on the starting resources, what you have researched, so on and so forth. And then there is since I last played, there's a sizable change to crew, where you can pick the backgrounds, the attributes, the skills, and I think it's probably the right time to explain the skill system. So the lighter colored skills is their current level, and then the dimmer is how high it can go. So it's starting skill points and potential points. So now, for instance, Athena can't level up research past 1. She has no potential. But I could add 1 because she had a free point. So now she can level up to 2, which is significantly different than the last time I played. And everyone has their own skills and skill potential, driven by the intelligence attribute. And bravery is like how brave they are, how likely they're to surrender. Zest is their energy level and working speed. Intelligence is primarily their skill points and learning rate. And then perception is their accuracy, working speed, and decreasing their accidents. But I've already made my crew, so I'm going to be loading in a brand new Small Hope start. So here we are. This is the Small Hope start scenario, and I'm going to give you a very brief introduction to the ship and also the characters. So the characters I've made are here. We have Diamond, who is mostly the pilot, gunner, shooter. He's a fighter pilot hero with high bravery and perception and intelligence. We've got Glitch, who's all about botany and industry, and is also really good at running the shields on the ship. Intelligent and able to learn a ton of skills. The gourmand cook. We've got Stevie. Stevie is the hardworking driller. So mining and construction very high. Industry can be leveled up. He's also a good navigator. Not very brave, but full of energy and pretty perceptive. And then last but not least, we have Trala, the peace-loving scientist. Very intelligent, highly perceptive, medical research, some botany, and good at operations. So those are the starting characters. And then this is the starting ship. So in the front, we have the operations console, which allows you to communicate with other ships. We've got the navigation console, which allows you to hyperspace jump. And then the research workbench and lab for research. This is the crew quarters here with the beds. It's really important for your crew quarters to be separate from the ship, because the ship is like noisy, often smoky, and a bad temperature, so on and so forth. We got the little kitchen here with the kitchen table so that they can eat. An oxygen generator right off of the kitchen, and then right off of the crew quarters is a bathroom. It's just the little toilet. Then back here we have the pods. So these are various pods for construction and mining. So this is the mining pod. This is the builder pod. And then this is the airlock dock. Then here we have the shuttle that we start with, which allows us to dock to other crafts and trade and things like that. Large storage. And then this is the recycler, which you can use to sort of refine scrap that you get from scrapping things. We have a power node network. I'll just open up the power nodes. So this is the power node network where we have the grids that supply power to the ship. Oxygen generator, so there's more than one. As you can see, there's 3. And then the Hyperium hyperdrives, which allows us to jump from system to system in the back. This here is the hull stabilizer, which adds stability to your hull, sort of like hull integrity, so it doesn't fall apart. We've got a water collector, which siphons water vapor from the atmosphere in the ship to produce water slowly. The Energium power generator, which uses like this sort of Energium exotic crystals to produce power. Some point defense turrets, so I'll show you what they look like. So taking a look at our ship from the top section, you can see that we have 2 point defense turrets, and these will fire on rogue AI and meteorites and things like that to help protect the ship, but they're not like deck cannons or anything like that. What else? Power nodes. Yeah, that's sort of the tour of the ship, the starter ship that you kick off with. And the system that we start in has a great big nothing in it. So pretty much the first thing you're going to do in a brand new game in a scenario like this is to organize some of the inventory in your ship, because your ship needs to be supplied. Like right now, the power's not running, and there's like there's some stockpiles that need to be sorted, and then to jump. So the question I have for you guys right off the bat, and this is something you can answer even if you've never played this game before, is there's sort of, in my opinion, 2 research routes to go right off the bat. So one is to get botany pretty early on. The reason for botany is your crew up here in the top left. I guess I could do more of the UI, but in the top left you have how many days of power that you have. So right now this power generator is running off of these power crystals that we can mine from asteroids. And everything that we do in the ship, like refining, mining, ore processing, etc., will use power. And then you have food and water and oxygen. So we have about 16 or so days of food left. So one of the things that we could do is pursue botany, to be able to grow our own plants through the research of Botany 1 and possibly Botany 2 if we want CO2 producers. The other route that I can make an argument for, at least, is to work towards the energy refinement. So the energy refinery allows you to refine the energy crystals into a more efficient energy rod, and then to also get the X1 power generator, which uses those energy rods to produce power. So it's a more efficient way of making power. Because initially, generally speaking, in a new game, you're going to have to contend with power and food. Those are the 2 bottlenecks. So what to work on first? Better or food production or power production? And I'll have you guys vote. And the one you pick, you can supplement the other that we're not doing. So like, let's say we do power, we can buy food. Buying anything in this game is pretty expensive. So relying upon trade is not necessarily a very good idea. I'll just throw that out. So on the recycler, one of the first things I'm going to do is queue up scrap to be done. So all of the scrap that we get from scrapping derelict ships and the like, we're going to process. So we'll take soft scrap, turn it into soft blocks, which is stuff like furniture and the like. Infra scrap into infra blocks and electrical components. Infra blocks are like infrastructure blocks. hull scrap into hull blocks and steel plating. So steel plates is used for ship stability, and then hull plating is used to expand your ship. Then we have energy scrap, which turns into energy blocks, energium, and infra blocks. So it's a way to get an energium. And then the energy blocks is used to make advanced production facilities, and then tech scrap into tech blocks, which is the same as energy blocks, but for tech items, and then optronics components and info blocks. There's really no reason to hold on to scrap other than to process it into its finished form, to basically reuse it. So right now, people are running around the base just getting things set up and supplied, as you can see. So let's talk about a little bit more of the UI. We've got a star map here, and there's a certain amount of systems, or a certain amount of locations within the solar system, and then there is the hyperspace jump to a new system. So a huge part of the game is to explore. And you can see this is the sort of local cluster for us to explore in. And for that kind of exploration, we're going to want jumping system to system hypersleep, which will be something that we're going to want to research a little later on. But hypersleep chambers will allow us to sleep between jumps, so capable of suspending a body's autonomic functions while maintaining health of an individual during stasis. Uses energy rods as a resource, so that allows you to sort of like jump from solar system to solar system. All right, so it looks like the first thing that we're going to do here is research botany stuff. So I'm actually going to queue up Botany 1 and Botany 2. So Botany 1 will give us grow beds, like hydroponic grow beds. And then Botany 2 will give us a CO2 producer. Because ideally, plants want to be an illuminated, heated, and high CO2, or at least moderate CO2 environment, in order to grow as fast as it can. So it's ideal for us to have a isolated room for our grow room. Alternatively, we could put botany inside the bedrooms. So one of the advantages of putting botany inside the bedrooms is the plants will produce oxygen, and while people sleep, they'll produce carbon dioxide. So the fact that people sleep near the plants will produce carbon dioxide for your botany room. So I guess I'll leave it up to you. Where should we build a grow bed for plants? A standalone room or attached to the bedroom? Also, with that in mind, we can move our bedrooms, so it doesn't necessarily need to be here, because there's not a lot of room right here for us to actually put in grow beds. But we'll see. So while the crew here is just like sorting things out, actually no, they look rather idle. I am going to start hopping to the first destination. So in order to hop, talking about the UI here, this button here is the view systems, where you prepare a hyper jump. And then your navigator will go to the navigation console and sort of calculate the jump and charge it up, which will be done soon. If you want it done sooner, there is schedules and priorities. So for instance, if I thought that this was like an emergency because we're getting fired on, I can turn off automatic. And as you can see, I can turn navigation on as forced, meaning that they kind of stop everything that they're doing to get it done. Think very high priority. It's an emergency. Whereas if you set it to full time, they won't neglect sleep cycles and eating and things like that to get it done. But if you're getting fired on and your ship's about to blow up, that's one of the things you're going to want forced. And you could do navigation shields, operation turrets, fighters, and battle stations as battle stations is a toggle, basically telling everyone to like man their battle stations. But yeah, you can toggle it forced or not. So here Stevie is working the navigation console and making sure that we're going to be ready to warp to our first system. I'll give you 2.5 more minutes to vote on that, and then I will know what to do. Let's do a little bit of work priorities, too. So here's the schedules. This should look pretty similar if you play games like RimWorld, where, you know, you can schedule sleep, free time, work. You can have multiple ships in a fleet, but right now, all that we have is the HSS Small Hope. We don't have any robots. And these are priorities. So, if I want Trala, who is our best scientist, running the science bench, I can tell everyone else not to do science. So these are the work priorities here, which will kick Glitch off and have Glitch go do something else. Alright, we're ready to jump. So when you jumping, and at least initially, you're probably going to want to go system to system for resources. So this system here has a lot of minables, and we'll drop in and do some mining. So I'm going to put us here, sort of equidistant between the two things to mine. So this asteroid here has ice, exotic ore, basic ore, but we can't collect the exotic ore and basic ore because we don't have an ore processor. And this one over here has Hyperium, which is like warp fuel and basic ore. And it looks like attached to the bedroom is leading, but it's pretty tied. So if you haven't voted yet, please do. In this zone, there is also another space station. So they are a farming station. They are offering a mission to deliver cargo, but I don't have a cargo bay. And we can do trade. And because they're a farming station, we can see what they want. What they want is like... no, they want grains and hops. And then what they have. So they have root vegetables and fruits at like fairly low price. So it's not a terrible idea to buy from them. Although our first goal is going to be getting botany up and running. So maybe it's not necessary. We'll see. All right, we no longer need the navigator manning the navigation console. And you can also set the readiness level like on the consoles themselves here, as you can see. So, a standalone room. Got it. So our first goal here is build a botany room. Awesome. Should I research botany 2? Next. So Botany 2 unlocks the CO2 producer, where it will use carbon and produce carbon dioxide. And the benefit of that is it will help the plants grow faster, this CO2 producer. Whereas Botany 1 just gives you the grow beds and lights. And have you guys decide? The other question is, it might be possible for us to go ahead and try to fit in the ore processor in order to be able to mine up the things that are in this system. So I could maybe fit an ore processor like right here, for instance. I would just need to move these other objects out of the way. So let's see if I can't nudge things around. So that's the hull stabilizer. This is the water vapor collector. Water vapor collector eventually is a good thing to build into your farm, because the plants will produce water vapor, but we don't have one of those yet. Although I'm not really sure if I have space for the Energium generator elsewhere. I think what I'm going to try to do is expand the ship a little bit. Expand the wings out by 1. So that I can fit things in a little bit better. There we go, moving things around. So we lost all our hull stability temporarily because I moved the hull stabilizer, so it's going to take a while for it to restabilize. And I'm going to be doing a little bit of nudging. We also have a civilian ship incoming. It will warn you ahead of time when ships are coming. So here on the map, with the M key or this button up here, you can see that the civilian ship is coming from this system in. If pirates are coming in, that would be a pretty good reason to, like, flee. But civilians, yeah, we don't really have to worry about that. So now we're using the hull blocks in order to expand our hulls to fill in some holes and gain some more space. The TLDR. The menu music is really loud, so I'm just turning the music back up now that I'm not in the menu. So the civilian ship doesn't have any missions available, and we can see what they want. I don't really have an excess of any resource. Oh god, they want human meat? Oh, you guys are nasty. Oh, and then there's a military alliance ship coming in too. So military alliance ships will do cargo scanning, things like that, to make sure that you're on the up and up, enforcing the laws, etc. So we're still researching botany. We're about 2/3 of the way done. And moving the hyperdrives so that they're like less in the way. I made that too loud. So here's a communication request from the Military Alliance. And for me to be able to answer them, I need to go over to the operations console. It needs to be manned. So, you were talking to the Military Alliance. Hey there, fellow spacefarer. We're running low on some resources. Would you be willing to help us? They're asking for 3 steel plates. And if I accept, they will pay for them, and I will gain also 2 reputation with them. And then if I reject, you know, nothing happens. So, choice 1 or 2. So 1 is accept and 2 is decline. So steel plates are used for hull stability and things like that. They're unlocked with metal refinement, which is a research we don't yet have. I currently don't have a need for steel plates, but it's also possible to buy steel plates off the base I'm at with the money that I get. And it looks like overwhelmingly you guys say yes. So I'll accept. It's funny that it says gift because, you know, they kind of paid for it. So taking a quick look, I can talk to the farming station. And let's see. If I do a new trade with them, I can buy 3 steel plates off of them for 388. So I think it was a pretty good deal. They paid like twice that. Okay. Another thing I want to do is to prepare my people to fight. So I'm going to start equipping weapons on my folks. So I'm giving Diamond the shotgun, and then I'm going to give everyone else the handgun. Oh, what is happening out there? I think it was just a meteorite. A little asteroid trying to hit us. A huge part of this game is going into derelict ships and salvaging them. And numbers and good armor and weapons is a big factor when trying to survive those things. So now everyone has a gun. So that's pretty good. We did just research Botany 1. And the question I have for you all is, should I get an ore processor? So the advantage of an ore processor is it will allow me to start mining up the ores, the exotic and basic ores. So the exotic ores, is there a way to show what they yield? No, I don't think I can show what they yield until I start mining them. But it can be metals or carbon or energium, things like that. And again, overwhelmingly, you guys say build the ore processor. Okay. The disadvantage to the ore processor, because you didn't let me get to that, is that it's possible that the ore processor, if you use the ore processor a lot, you can drain your power pretty badly. Because it is a very power-intensive thing. So it is best to do once you have, like, an abundance of power. Right now I'm just moving the energium generator, so the power will go out briefly. Now it's back on. And now we have the ore processor. So, with the ore processor, I might as well fully mine out the this system before leaving. So I just set it up so that we're going to be mining everything out there. So back to my goal of making a botany area, right? Can I build batteries? I can once I get them researched. And there's a new mission available from the farming station. It's also a deliver cargo. So yeah, I don't have a cargo dock. So I won't be doing that. Now, I am very likely going to run either out or low on hull blocks as I'm expanding for the farm. So in research here, if you're wondering about ship batteries, let's go up to power. And the power capacity nodes will store power. And then I think that might be the only battery. I could be wrong. But yeah, we can get some power capacity nodes up at some point. Not before botany. I'm also just moving things around so that everything fits a bit better. You know, ship Jenga. And pretty soon we'll have everything... Okay, everything's already mined out. So once the hull is finished being adjusted, let's call it, I'm going to jump out of here looking for more resources elsewhere. But yeah, hull blocks are critically low. That's pretty much exactly what I thought it would happen, because we are expanding so much. So here you can see the point defense firing on asteroids that threaten the ship. Alright, so let's get out of here. There's really nothing left for us here. We're just running out of resources if we stay. So the ore processor is currently... I'm going to turn it off to conserve power, because we don't have a ton of energy and I don't really want to burn up our power reserves for no reason. And we have a choice. We can go out to... let's call it north or east. So the north path has things to mine, and the east path has a station. I think that's the symbol for a station. Yeah, let's go to the legends. So this is a Slavers Guild. A Slavers Guild ship is east. And it looks like we're going to the north. So this is a energy... oh, we have incoming rogue bots. Spicy. So I'm going to try to mine as quick as I can and get out before the rogue bots mess with me. But I probably won't make it out in time, I'd imagine. So what I'm hoping to do is to set up some grow beds with lights. I would like to ideally have 2 grow beds like side by side, but I need to extend the hull a little bit more first, so I'm going to need more hull blocks. So here is our miner grabbing the energium, which is a pretty critical thing to have. Oh, well, they're already here. If I had a ship scanner, I would know when they were going to arrive, but I don't have a ship scanner, so... So here's what the fight looks like. They're just, oh god, they're firing on my miner. Return to the ship! Point defense, help! There's really not much to do in battle stations, unfortunately, because I don't really have ship guns or shields or anything like that, so we're just getting shot at. But soon the point defense will start firing on them. And we can hold our ground and then return to mining once we're done destroying all the rogue AI. Although that, this point defense just got hammered pretty bad. Alright, there goes 2 of 3 AI bots, I think. Okay, there goes the last one. We're good. We're in the clear. And the point defense turret's getting repaired. Can you make robots to use? You can. In order to research some things like robotics, so the hamster flybots, it requires flybot corpses, and then the chimps, which is the walker bots, require chimp corpses. So there are some prerequisites. The same is true for things using the bugs as well. So there's alien tech for crawlers and haulers and hive cores, and for that you need the corpses of the things you're researching. So there is a bit of a prerequisite there. Now, the robots in space that are destroyed, I don't believe we can salvage, but if I run into robots on derelicts, we would be able to salvage those. So the good news is we did get a whole bunch of energium from the asteroid here, which will keep the ship running for a decent amount of time now. Yeah, 29 days, up from 16 or something, so that helps. Food is going down, but that's obviously something that we're working to remedy now. And it's warning me that my ore processor is not on the high capacity energy grid. That's fine. I don't want it running anyway. I have it stopped. The other one that I don't have on the high grid is the recycler, because I moved the small power nodes. So maybe what I'll do is I'll move these small power nodes back. There, like that. That should put it back on the grid. All right, get back to mining. Oh, are they not mining because I don't have... Yeah, I stopped the ore processor. Okay, we did just get a bunch of energium, so I'm going to send my miner out to go get the exotics and basic ores, because I'm going to want to process them. So the basic ores can turn into... I think base metals. Oh, and we got the CO2 producer. Okay, so now we have the option for what to research. And I'm going to leave it up to you. So, we could research... I'm just going to selectively pick. So power capacity nodes is like ship batteries, and it leads to more efficient power generation, solar power, and power generators. Metal refinery gives us the ability to make our own steel plates and electronic components. That's always pretty useful. There's also energy refinery, which kind of goes hand in hand with the X1 power generator. This allows you to produce energy rods and hyperfuel from energium and hyperium. And I don't think I'm going to worry about too much else. Maybe a medical bed? Medical beds allow you to recover better from wounds and the like. And I could also do composter. So composter allows us to compost for fertilizers and also getting some carbon off of it as well. So for instance, we can compost, corpses and stuff like that. And there's also advanced nutrition, which speeds up growth rate, so that might be useful as well. Except for advanced nutrition, I think we need fruits and vegetables available, but I think we have it. So you guys vote for what's next. And for now, I think what I'll do is I'll just I'll start researching hypersleep chamber while you guys pick on the project. Because I know I'm eventually going to want hypersleep chambers, but it's not really a high priority. How customizable ship space? You can, it's square, so you can't make rounded things, but apart from that, yeah, it's whatever you want, really. All right, we are almost done mining up this place, then we can be off to the next. Come on, get it. There we go. So I think logically we're going to go this way, and it has a derelict ship, which is inevitably going to be pretty interesting, I think. So we are lacking hull blocks, steel plates, and electronic components. Got it. There's a whole bunch of things that need repair. And that's a result of the asteroid hazard that we've got, which, if the point events doesn't catch it, ends up punching holes in our craft and doing some damage. Thank you for watching Space Haven, which originally streamed live on Twitch August 8th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel. Hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow spacefarers,